Alright, and we are going to do the game we missed yesterday because was simply not equipped with sufficient awake after traveling for work, so had to more or less postpone that and wanted to start with this game as it was promised already for the Sunday special, but never made it that far with the special overall, so let's correct that now and actually start with the Warhammer 40k Mechanicus this time and try to do at least a few missions. I have actually played the game on Switch before, especially like a couple of years ago, so not exactly a beginner, and as described would call it very much comparable to XCOM. It's turn-based, it's hard, and after a point you mostly just start having very much trouble at staying successful. So, hello there, Raven. Great to have you here. Always really good to have all of you around. So, always very pleased to have you around and as a regular. So, of course, very thankful for that. And hello there, Red Scale. You both have been very regular to the stream, and that's greatly appreciated. So, of course, good to have you joining us once again, and you of course deserve greetings also. Otherwise, it's great to have you here. So, as noted, like the game is quite difficult and it resembles XCOM a lot in being turn-based more or less. Tactics / gunplay type of game. So also here it's more like you have even more different guns and abilities that tend to also have drawbacks, and then it's like, alright, which way would you like to go with those? So yeah, we are starting the game from the beginning. Have played it a bit on PC to see that it actually works, but otherwise it's like we are starting from the beginning, so should be interesting. Hello there, and thank you. Indeed, Street Little is this skulldog, so very pleased to have you here, and have noticed that you have recently followed this one in various media, so that is of course appreciated, and it's great to have you here. So welcome the first time to stream proper. You apparently had seen posts and or other material about them before, as noticed that you had followed, so very pleased to have you around. So let's move gradually towards the game now that we have properly started, and see what we will have happen with the first missions. So we are certainly going to play some way through the game, at least depending a bit, the usual 1.5 or 2 hours, depends slightly, but very good to start with the game. So let's move to the main screen here. There we go, and also then start properly. So we are going to do new game altogether, and do not think casual difficulty, have usually done normal difficulty. We can buy now most probably. Skip tutorial, we do know pretty well how it works, having played this before. And we do not enable Iron Man or permadeath because it's more or less the game is difficult enough as it is. and achievements are apparently available this way, so I do think we are pretty good to go. And we do enable the DLC, though the DLC missions are like tough. I do remember trying them when played this the first time. It was like, yeah, how about having even more trouble? So, new game it is. Alright, and then we can see what missions we have available. So first of all, we do not really have that much to tune yet cohort wise, because we have practically one with only the basic servo skull, and we do not have that much to add yet, so it's like very basic in this respect. But let's see, like, do we have any funds? Yep, so we can do something upgrade wise, so it would be most useful to have, like, at least when we consider the currently available, like this would cost 3 cognition, so it's like most probably not, and this is 2, so it's kind of more realistic choice currently to try and hit with the axe. And then we have the, apparently we can have only one weapon currently in any case, so fair enough. We actually can also afford to upgrade one of these, so we can choose the discipline again, like what would be preferable. Reveal enemy statistics when in melee range. Yeah. Reduced. Alright. It's usually kind of useful to have the enhanced analytics, so let's go this way for that, so at least something is upgraded. Still unsure which would be the requirement to get weapons here. Alright, looks better. This is kind of like, yeah, you can also have that, but works. You should probably also have some gun here, like. Alright, so this will use the axe for now, works. Looks good enough. And we haven't discovered much yet, it's like mostly plenty of question marks. And we have only use of the basic servitor, so it's not like very fancy troops either. So then we could consider selecting first mission next. So let's then see about what we would choose mission wise next. So we do have like these two would have some mission available. Let's see. The text is again quite small. Ah yeah, this is the one with the you have to do some incense, unsure what the incense of the Mechanicus smells like. And these are both like easy, so that's kind of what do these give us rewards. Alright. Yeah, this is the Mechadendrite stat does damage, which is useful. Also the one that heals, which is also rather useful, and some resource, so this is quite useful to have use of these, and this in turn gives like, yeah, the arc pistol is also nice. Omnispecs is quite useful also, so it's kind of, let's do this first at least in this case. And we do not have that many, like we do not have any more slots available either, so we can't have more servitors in any case then. Like, yeah, of course add the tech priests, and then let's add some servitors. It's like they are not exactly expensive, not that they also do much. Like the basic servitor isn't very effective, unsurprisingly. There we go. And then we have some dialogue, and of course the priestly type is not very pleased that indeed they are, the dialogue is quite amusing because it's very much in the style. And we have very long dialogue. Of course, not willing to go in person, surprise. Yeah, that's very good, valid point. Ensure all corpses are returned. Yes, sounds like a great proposition. So let's see what happens here. Alright, and let's see what options we have. This chamber shows signs of having been the scene of a brutal gunfight. Two skittery lie dead with marks from glass blasts over the walls. Alright, and then we can salvage what gear we can, and or can examine the chamber, or can eulogize. So it's of course important to say a prayer, but considering they were not exactly the most important devotees of the cult Mechanicus, somehow Would think it would be more useful to examine the weapon effects. Let's see how that affects morale or whatever. Live fire combat exercise is impossible, that's quite. And we did get 2 cognition points, so that's quite. The cohort takes their time examining the damage caused to the chamber. The Necrons attacked swiftly, picking off 2 rearmost of the Skittery unit before disappearing again into the shadows, and got even 2 cognition points, which is quite helpful in the first fight proper. So then there's either the cliff, which is like you choose a cliff and then something beneficial or less beneficial happens, or then there's another of these multiple choice things. Then there's actual like action. So let's then see about which would be our next move. So let's see where we. Let's take also the other multiple choice. Would imagine it can't be that bad. You hope. So there we go. Acquire at all costs. Yep. And alright, that's quite hard to actually get, because typically they immediately teleport away, so it's like more useful probably to take sensor readings than try to grab it, because I do think they always teleport away. Let's see what happens. No reality correction required, that's quite. Also got cognition points, so that went as well as. The cohort's auspexes detect various exotic particles and radiation types as the Necron's phasing out process is eventually completed. Yeah, it's usually not very useful to try to do much else, because the things always teleport out pretty much. So, and then there should be action. Let's see. Alright, this isn't yet too bad, because presence has been only detected, so it's quite acceptable to get like level 1 or 2. After that it starts to get a bit painful, and it contributes to the global awakening score, which is not good. Alright. Indeed, indeed. Approach with caution. And then we can also deploy for. We do even get basic servitors, because we do have considerable amount of cognition points. So let's also add 3, and then we have. Kill all enemies. That should be moderately straightforward. And this is the one with the guns, so we can also move so that we first take the cognition point and then can we already from here actually out of range for both weapons even, is it? Yeah, that requires 3 cognition, so let's move there. And then we get to move the basic servitors who have 1 to 2 damage only, so it's not like the most valuable unit. Alright, and this comes with the axe, so let's move there and stand behind the pillar. And finally let's move the 3rd servitor actually in this direction, should there be anything of interest. Oh, alright, moment. We'll of course fulfill the, especially as the game is turn-based, it's very easy to fulfill the redeems because it's like quite easy. Also let's improve illumination here by now as it's gradually becoming more night, so there we go. And then we of course fulfill the redeem next, so and of course also behind as far as easily possible. There we go. Oh, thank you. Of course, really appreciate your liking and happy to be able to then so let's then return towards the game if you are satisfied with the redeem and continue with the game again. Alright, we have played about half an hour, so let's then proceed here back to the game and see about what happens next, because we were about to finish the turn, so let's move towards next turn and see how that goes. Here we are, and alright, let's end turn and see what the Necron does. So we are probably going to get shot at pretty soon. Yes, fortunately the servitor for now, but alright, good amount of cognition gained also. We could get the final servitor in, but unsure if we that much need more cannon fodder. We can now use like, yep, we can shoot from here already, so let's. Alright, that has quite minimal range. But first shot. Right. Then it will take some trouble, like. Alright, that doesn't leave us exposed, so let's go that way. We can like send the servitor out because they won't heal anyway, so let's move there to kind of provide cover. It's not very probable at that the rate of like damage that we are going to get the basic servitor in. Let's move here to stand like behind the servitor. That helps at least from some angles, as we have only the axe. Use the servo skull to get one cognition. We can now actually like use cognition move into position to strike with the axe. So we have cognition to burn. Let's just. Alright, 1 damage. At least it adds acid damage, so that's quite nice. And we are now in melee, so it kind of limits their options. Alright, and then unsurprisingly we get cognition, of course, also for seeing the servitor decimate the opportunity attacks, so 2 damage, that's very nice. Of course we now start getting blasted, but kind of price of going into combat, and they take acid damage. Alright, some scarabs also appear. Alright, and of course our good tech priests are wondering what that would be. Alright, and then we have the very old recording from Rezak, who had encountered Necrons before. And indeed, be warned, they are deadly in large swarms. Alright, and then we get new turn, so we could again add cannon fodder, but do not feel it's worth a cognition point currently to add like as basic things as possible. So we could practically do so that we get one cognition point from there and then move here to shoot. That should be quite. And let's try to blast that out of existence. Nope, of course the weapons are also quite questionable quality. How close we need to actually be to 2.5 meters. Right. We in turn would not have enough cognition if we would use the cognition move, so let's like extract one from there and then try some planning at least. So now if we move there, do we get finally close enough to shoot with the less than fancy gun. Still out of range. Interesting. It's apparently a melee weapon. Now we have only 2 cognitions, so we are stuck in a melee with the weapons. Oh well. Great planning. Alright. And Scarabs repaired that, so great start. Alright. And then we can hit the scarabs with the axe. At least that's somewhat useful. Here we can actually make some use of the servitor, like alright, at least opportunity attacks, so alright, now we probably could add servitor here, like, yes, let's add it directly to melee. Now that's some use. Alright. Here we can't do that much, so we delay turn, because it would be quite useful to have more. Alright. That would do 0 damage, so. Alright, at least the scarabs are gone. Alright, that wasn't very helpful. At least the servitor did damage. Alright, and no attacks of opportunity, so maybe we can finally blast one of Necrons out. Yes. So now we have to cause some more damage so that they do not reanimate, and we can extract one cognition to help further turns. We can't really move into any meaningful cover. Because the servitor is there, might be useful to force them to melee, because then they have to practically take attack of opportunity from the axe. So let's do exactly that, because practically forces their play. Also the scarabs went to attacks of opportunity. Excellent. They also got plenty of opportunity. Alright, and now we just need to cause damage there. So now it's most useful with this to actually move and shoot, because there's still the one Necron there. So let's first of all move so that we get one more cognition. Then we can move here and shoot. Alright, 2 remaining, so that was already quite good. Then we still have enough movement to move back towards cover and finish turn. Alright, and we most probably immediately get more Necrons. Excellent. Alright, we can extract one cognition point, and we can actually move and use both weapons, so that should finish them off. Alright, no threat remaining. Indeed, praise the Omnissiah, and greetings to you also. So that at least went sufficiently well, considering indeed, the game is surprisingly well done, because I've played it also before on Switch for some time, and now I actually started streaming it, so that's very true that it's very nicely done as far as the lore also goes. Do very much agree. And of course, let's greet you properly also on main screen, so welcome to the stream. And indeed, this is the first time with the game, not overall, but it's the first time we do stream of it. Have played it before, and as noted, it's kind of like XCOM for the 40th century, that it's actually quite similar, turn-based, quite difficult, and usually causes a lot of nervousness to worry about what happens during off turn. So it does resemble XCOM a bit, but indeed, welcome to the stream, and hopefully you have had a good day also. So let's yep, that's a lot like XCOM and to well know. So let's then. Oh, thank you for the bits. Let's probably also thank you. That's very generous. This of course is the second special, so also wearing the quite shiny bodysuit, because as this was originally the intended second part of the birthday special, we just were a bit late starting this, so very thankful for the bits. Oh, thank you, greatly appreciate your support, and of course it's really good to have your support for the stream, so very thankful for the bits. Oh, so let's then again move towards the game. Right, we have played about 50 minutes, so do at least a couple of missions would think, and let's continue. So let's move back to the game soon and resume. So here we are, and let's see what we have next. Very well as noted, they teleport away, so it's not very useful. Alright, we could certainly search it out, because it's not like it will yield any remains anytime soon, so let's see if we can find anything. At least we gained something, so slowed down, but found. Do not think have actually had the spotlight before. Nice. Interesting. Alright. So that was the first mission. Very well. Valuable data present is greater than past. That's good conclusion. And of course they do not quite agree. So that went about as well as possible. We actually didn't lose much because the servitors are practically free, so. Alright, the statistics on PC are interesting, like mouse clicks and also the overall attacks, damage dealt, damage taken, units lost to the 2 servitors, which are not exactly durable, and we got new canticle. Alright, and then we can again choose mission. And of course should tune the things a bit also equipment wise. So let's then select next mission, and we do still have to move the sensor servitor, yes, which gives also the arc pistol, which is not useless. Here we do mostly get cognition codes max increased by 1, alright, easy. And we do have also Necron Destroyer. Here we actually have only Necron Warriors, so it's kind of like probably do this next, but let's first of all make sure the basic servitor can't be tuned much, unsurprisingly. Let's see here, can we actually first of all we do again have more blackstone, so we should also upgrade. Alright, now also we can see what the spotlight actually does. Become the priority target of enemies in range and gain +1 physical armor, +1 energy armor for 1 round. Yeah, that's kind of useful in some cases where you want to pull attention to yourself so that someone else survives, but it's kind of would be nice to have more health first before you start like doing kind of sacrificial strategy. Be useful to have the thing that heals, but do think it also requires more augment capacity, so it's been a while since have like done these, so that practically requires some further. We should first of all also choose here the path, so do think that Dominus is quite useful for the one that uses the ranged weapons, so it's kind of currently we are the wrong way around, but that we already have, so it's kind of like the latter ones are kind of, you also get the special augments for each class. It's kind of like we should most probably switch. That's also quite useful because it heals automatically, which is kind of one of the more desirable traits. So let's take those for now. like slot wise that you can only have that or a weapon. Alright, now we can have also weapon, which is nicer that we have also ranged weapon, so in that respect it's useful. This would probably requires more augment capacity. Here we also practically could have more utilities at some point. So considering like the cost of, because we do not really have units we would pay for, because like servitors cost nothing anyway, so we can as well upgrade further. Add plus 4 HP. I think currently adding 4 HP is quite good idea. Alright, and now we have 1 free augment capacity, so can we add? Yep, we can now add that, which is quite useful because it can then heal with that at least now and then, which helps immensely overall. So that's a considerable improvement also. So then we could move towards mission, as we have upgraded mostly sufficiently. So let's then go further with next mission, and I think we are going to do this next because it gives also the arc pistol and omni specs, which is quite useful. So let's do that next, and certainly we are not exactly going to break the budget by taking servitors because they cost so little. We can also now have 2 canticles. I'm sure how they are actually activated with PC, but we most probably find out once we make that step, like have a need to use one. So let's then deploy indeed good amount of scripture stored for rapid retrieval. Very considerable concerns. which will be kind of demanding to get through the tomb, but then deploy one immediately, certainly. And of course you have to escort it, which makes things much easier. Very well. Indeed. And then let's see, like map wise, we have to move through. Then it's like how long you can want to spend taking encounters, because of course more time spent also causes more. The cliff is useful in the sense that you do not have to activate the cliff, so it's usually better to go through the cliff than take more encounters, because more encounters can also cause more issues. But here it's like which encounter you would like to take, so count your encounters. Of course we could take 3 encounters, so let's see what happens. Yeah, and of course we have trouble with the equipment, which isn't totally unsurprising. So then we of course can take more time to diagnose or like suffer the noise, which is kind of like, of course it's better to scrutinize, which probably takes more time. We even gained cognitive points, so that went well enough. Cohort has a new appreciation for the proper maintenance and function. Fair enough. That's most useful usually with machinery. Then we can either take even longer routes, which is kind of like, yes, you can have even more encounters. Most probably not, so let's go a bit more straight. It's like, yeah, you can also have much more awakening before you get there. So let's at least consider the straighter route. Of course we do not have too much like awakening yet globally, so better to risk even more encounters. Interesting. Let's try. Going to be adventurous. Beware of the deviance of thine own tools, for the enemy finds his entrance thereby. Yeah, and then we again have to fix the thing. Why do we even take one like this and not like some incense sticks only? Somehow do not think engaging in a philosophical conversation with your device will be useful. Most usefully you can examine and spend sufficient time. Alright, of course we take a device that doesn't even work properly. If all is right, he suffered the punishment for his heresy long ago. Very well, and we even got a new knowledge. We of course also got more initiative with the Necrons, which is nice. Lengthy comprehensive diagnostic locates an invasive element. Indeed. Of course we have like things inserted many years ago, like would we have things that are actually put together correctly? Indeed. Continues in silence, but we also have plenty of cognition points, so taking the more circuitous route is at least interesting. Alright, only prisons detected, so it's kind of... Alright, and then we get stuck. So it's kind of like... That most probably will not end well, because the device is so questionable anyway, so... That probably takes time. That probably takes even more time. So it's kind of like... Maybe that works or not. Let's see what happens. Thus Ferrarch Asclepian wrote, and thus we have proven. Alright, maybe it even worked out. To every problem a solution lies in the application of tech lore. Yep. And we even got some flagstone. Awakening was also increased, but unsurprisingly took a long time to set up, but probably not as long as manual labor. Extricating, indeed, extrication successful, so. And then we have even more encounters. It's like, let's take the longest possible route. But it also gained some new items, so it's not totally... That is very good, good quote also. No dogmatics. If his will be done, let it be done quickly. Yes, we prefer speed. Oh, thank you for the bits. Let's also raise the paw to that. Very much appreciated. So. Indeed. Oh, thank you. Very much appreciated. So, let's then continue again. We are going to do at least, I think, one more mission, it looks like currently. So let's move further, and of course switch screens, thank you, even if the skulldog looks of course excellent, but we should most probably concentrate on the game, which also is a good proposition. There we are, and then we unsurprisingly break down again. And then it's like we can just like perfunctory repair, or like very much better repair, or like do even entire right of refurbishment. Indeed. That is also the description is great, like this should be in some machine service manual, including the incantation of 7 diagnostic processes and addendum fabricatories. So yeah, most probably we only maintain moderately, because it's like if we start replacing the whole thing on field, like really, do you consider that field maintenance? Alright, this will be interesting. Awakening increased, but alright, and then we have one more encounter, so Alright, and of course our good priestly type doesn't like the star maps, so we most probably should try to obtain information, because destroying them at most results in probably even more Necron attention, so by now ignoring them would probably save a bit of time, but we are like still some way away from. Let's see what happens if we take picked crabs, which is great term also. At least we did get some blackstone and had no problem time wise, so that was one of the better encounters. And no, we are not crying the cliff, we are going to the final, and we didn't get at least third level of awakening yet, so it's kind of alright with some extra Necron initiative. And we do have points, so let's get like a couple of servitors out. Alright, and this, alright, now both have also gun. We can immediately go and scan that. That doesn't really bring us to shooting distance yet, though. Unlike with the Necrons, so it's kind of, we have to approach anyway, so let's go and scan that and see what that does. Alright, 76 blackstone is nice enough. Alright, we can also get one extra cognition, which is useful because now we can practically force melee. Let's see if we can do it so that we can both. Can we already shoot? Yes. Which makes it even more useful, as we can practically then walk up and do the axe, so pretty much maximum effort. Alright, it was 2, so always good to miscalculate. Not the first time, but we have forced melee, so it also gives opportunity attack, which helps. And then we have guns, so but we can get a shot on the other one from here, so let's do that. Alright. Let's see, can we extract? Yes, let's extract one cognition, which helps with the axe next turn, so alright, any reanimates one turn faster as long as we have melee capability. That isn't going to be the worst problem. And we could deploy more servitors, but it's like we can get not actually, so do not find it useful yet. Alright, opportunity attack is as good as. Alright, 3 damage is quite manageable. And we repair 1, so again, alright, that's actually very useful because we get to shoot. And then we might be able to walk and axe the other one. Yes. That was pretty effective turn. Alright, that was quite nice opportunity. Then we can practically most probably walk a step and shoot at them, which might end them. Yes, now we just have to cause like damage to both, so we will have servitor turns before reanimation occurs, so we can practically let the round change, and then we could again get a servitor, but the usefulness of doing that currently is limited, so right, let's meet there because we can use a servitor for the kill, and we can then also extract the cognition point. And stop here because we can delay here, move here, and as we need to do any damage practically, so use servitor. There we go. And then we can here heal the other with the, there we go, some repairs, and then we have the Necron here, so we can walk. We can actually fire from here, which is even better. There we go. Then we can also add the cognition point and finish turn. We could technically walk over and use also the other weapon because we have 3 cognition for once to throw to it. So let's do that and see if we can force the finish. That looked impressive at least. Yes, that was more or less maximum effort in that respect. Nice. Let's raise a ball to that. Alright, and now we at least have improved the air in the tomb, at least in some someone's opinion. Has noted at the least the place is less malodorous. Improvement. Indeed, bless their ignorance. That's one approach, certainly, when we consider the rather different view from some. And we lost actually no troops, which is surprising. So that could be considered a success. 118 clicks. And units lost 0, so that was actually quite good. Complete 2 missions without using a canticle. It wasn't necessary. So we actually got improved cant of the craft very well. So let's see how we are doing time wise. Alright. Let's do at least one more mission. We have almost done the 1.5 hours, but let's do a bit longer as we are here and we are very much ready, so let's do a bit more also. So let's then see about next mission and improvements. Very well. Also, let's see, do we actively like save the game, as we are not playing Iron Man, so we can practically do a new save at this point, as we have done a couple of missions. So let's save that as stream 1, so we know. There we go. And then we do not yet have deployments available from the others, but let's see about possible upgrades also, as we do have pretty good amount of Blackstone now, and we do not yet need to purchase like any fancier troops, as we have none, so it's kind of like you actually even improve the servitor in any way. Apparently not. It's not like the greatest thing ever. Do think you can also have upgrades for that, but like requires some way to obtain them, like through a mission. Alright. Let's see, our good tech priests like certainly could use upgrades. And we do have some new equipment like the arc pistol. All cognition points. This is always very useful, because you can practically from the 2 or 3 cognition point items you can extract all of them at will with the servo skull, so that is highly useful as an upgrade. There we go, and we also have one more augment slot now, so let's see, like that more of deals damage, including acid, so it's kind of Omnispecs is somewhat useful as it increases chance to miss for cognition. It's also like currently we most probably have sufficient weapons, especially when we get to shoot that, so it's better to have the strong and the weak weapon. And we could also use the axe here, but do think that it's more useful to have the yeah, this axe is actually only one also, so we could have the axe. It also looks very fancy, so it helps because we can also do melee in addition to like shooting with these, and that costs only one. It does no acid damage, which is kind of the improvement with the 2 cognition cost axe that the other one is wearing, which has the advantage that it actually does. And we should also upgrade, so it's now we get the class specific, so it's like adds HP, adds critical chance and movement, adds armor, adds just HP. Do like the extra critical chance at this point, like certainly helpful. And we also have one more augment slot, so it's like here might have the arc pistol, which does kind of like a chain, and it also doesn't require cognition to shoot with, so it's quite useful to have also one of those, because it does some area damage due to the arc getting chained, so looks good. And then third mission, let's see what we have available. So collect Necron Destroyer specimen samples, which is also here you increase cognition cost max by 1 and get the Cog Occultaris, which increases critical chance. This also includes the Necron Destroyer, so and what would be the next mission here? Alright, we can also install some speakers for to dampen Xenostain. Yeah, that's kind of like what you get. Power field generator. Alright, that's like for 1 round, and we get ranger unit, which is also good, but it's like which one again to do first, because these are would be useful to have further cognition, so let's do these first. It helps a lot when you can do, especially with the lower cognition cost items, you can do more. So and now we can have like 2 canticles that are pretty much the same. That's at least useful for big attacks. So, and then we of course get some cannon fodder along. Alright. Minimal gains. That's not very correct. And we of course encounter the new. And of course then our tech acquisitor is very happy. Very well. And of course, do not think our more priestly guy will be very happy. Very well, and then we again wonder like count your encounters. Alright, that's in any case pretty long way. We can also go through like two with the cliff, or we can take one more encounter. The cliff is easier, but we are here to be interesting, so let's take more encounters. Alright, direct request. The cohort finds a sarcophagus containing a Necron destroyer that seems inert. It may have malfunctioned and failed to respond to the Tomb's awakening protocols. It's kind of like trying to destroy it might be very lucky. That might not either be, so most probably let's tag it and proceed. A nearby Skittery unit enters the chamber a few minutes later, but they are unable to open the sarcophagus safely. Instead, they take big traps and samples that help describe the Necron's awakening mechanism. Alright. 2 cognition points is good enough. Result. Move on. This area of the Tomb of Ekropis is covered in hieroglyphics interspersed with depictions of Necron constructs, most often engaged in war. Some of the images resemble the Necron destroyers with their distinctive anti-grav hulls. Alright. Alright, it might be useful to try to find a weakness if there is any, so examine the pictographs for any suggestion of weaknesses in the destroyer war form. Alright, and we apparently does little to harden the cohort in their mission to engage and battle the destroyers. That was quite not so desirable result, and then we have one encounter more and then get the battle, so alright, of course request study. How well that goes, Kaivala, what do you think? And in turn our priestly guy is less willing. The chamber is bathed in constant data flow transmitted by the Tomb's own awakening protocols. This transmission must be of Necron origin. We could try to decode, dismiss, or even delegate. Most probably that wouldn't go well if you send it over. Somehow do think dismissing it would be most useful indeed. Surprisingly, we got cognition points and didn't cause more. Despite the text, we didn't get more attention, so let's move to fight. Most interesting. gravity defying, indeed. Bounce is just for fun apparently. And then we have very old quote like the text of the old cock V12, and then they ask about it, what are these men of iron, to remember this, and then he replies like, unclear, this text was locked many millennia ago. There's no other references. Very well. And destroy the target. Of course it's not very direct, so we have to go past that and let's deploy 2 servitors also and start. And let's see how many Necron warriors we get, probably at least several. Let's move the servitors that way, so we can kind of, because that will come from there, we can kind of swing out with the servitors. We can make it the shooting distance, which is kind of, it's a start, so. We have cognition points, so we can start shooting at the thing. 16! At least it took also some damage, so that's a start. And then let's see. We couldn't move there without taking cognition move. It's kind of getting to hit that with the axe is not very probable this turn. Also, like moving further in the cover would be cognition move, so let's do so. And let's move there and extract the cognition points, so we wouldn't have to for the axe in any case immediately, so there we go. And then it's pretty much the destroyer's turn, so let's see what kind of damage we take. Yeah, big gun. We could deploy a servitor, but would be more interested in getting to use the axe, so. And 2 turns. That's great. And we can move the servitors gradually here to counter the other Necron warrior. Right, and now we can shoot again. We can also get the cognition point, so we can practically also do the axe finally. So this is pretty much maximum effort in this respect, like shoot with all and then do the axe. 4 damage and acid, so that's good. Then we got cognition, so we can fix ourselves, which is good. And then we can shoot with the pistol. Then, because we have the axe, we can actually also walk next to them, and if they want to move, it will be forced melee with both, so that would be a good situation to be in. Exactly. Alright, extra Necron warrior, but at least they arrive at the worst possible position. Still not interested in a servitor here. While here it would be interesting because they are walking practically into the trap, so we just keep moving the servitors towards the edge. Alright. That was quite effective. And now we walk next to them because we can force melee if they want to move. We can't yet repair, so we do exactly the same. So we first of all walk into a position where we can shoot. Then we walk over and use the axe. And then we stay there for... Alright. No need to stay there for melee because they expired. So let's extract the cognition point, and we have the scarabs to deal with, but that's a problem for future turns taken. Then we could again deploy a servitor. We also have more cognition. So let's deploy a servitor to beat at the scarabs. Alright. We have the problem that if we walk from there, we trigger opportunity. So delay turn and beat at the scarabs very ineffectively. Here we can move over and force their path because they are now stuck. They can't move without taking opportunity attacks, so not very good dice either, so we have even more Necrons there, so lot of range. Can we pass the Scarabs? Let's see. We can hit them with the axe first, so it's of course also excellent idea. It was very effective axing. No more Scarab for you. So let's walk to the firing range here and shoot some guns. Take the cognition point, and because best strategy here is to walk against them so they can't shoot unless they take their chances with melee. Here we get to immediately use the axe. They are gone. So, can we get in the firing position there? Not yet. Let's walk and do the cognition point manually here. And then leave one cognition. And now they will take opportunity attack. Also get the shoot, which is not good. Alright, 0. Fortunately, these also get restored unless there we had repairs, which is not good. That wasn't totally successful, but let's see how we can Alright, that solved one issue. That's kind of blocked. Now they are kind of in trouble because they can't actually move. So let's start moving towards that, because that seems to be the remaining enemy. Long way here, but let's do cognition move and we can extract a cognition point. and move to not quite scan that thing, but it's very useful to move so that we will have firing opportunity at some point. Currently they are very stuck. We should round the whole thing, which takes forever, but there isn't much else we can do as long as they are stuck in the... And here we of course do the thing. That's done with, so we can also start walking around the obstacle. And we keep beating at them. The problem is that the scarabs keep repairing them, so alright, and now we are getting some traction on our dilemma, so we can there we go. We have forced the issue as far as we can. Now this has to take opportunity attack to move, and they have only 2 spaces, so they are practically pinned. And then there isn't much use with moving the servitors back and forth, but alright, that was most probably last. Yes, fast. The cohort withdraws from the tomb, having experienced the prowess of the Necron destroyers firsthand. If nothing else, the Adeptus Mechanicus have learned the stark danger of the Necron warforms possess. Yes. And anti-gravity conference and plus 3.9%. That was kind of 3.9% sounds quite limited. It's like minus 100, so clicks 207, units lost 1. Unfortunately it was the tech priest, which is very expensive, so not the best thing ever, but that went otherwise well. We still unlocked the new canticle. We could have maybe used the canticle to heal at the correct point, but it's always like requires quite a bit of foresight. So let's see how we are doing time wise. Right, 2 hours, so it starts to be pretty good. So, I think we could see about doing one more. So let's see what missions we have available, and also, as we did rather alright, save the game as stream 2. It would be always useful to get more resources, but quite acceptable situation. And let's see then what missions we have available, and could also do upgrade as far as practicable. Alright, 163. In any case we upgrade only one or the other, because this is lower rank. Let's upgrade that first. Yeah, that's kind of would be nice to have more HP, because after each attack it indeed increases damage, but after each attack also does 1 damage to self, so it's kind of would be good to add the self-repair capacity. This is of course more useful because it doesn't use. It heals less, but it doesn't use cognition. We still prefer more healing, so it's better to be capable of self-healing when you're also damaging yourself while doing some extra damage. So let's see what missions we have. This is like normal difficulty. Find any archaeotech from the previous excavation. Yeah, when this older thing was around. Alright. And would also claim that we are going to delete that. Not very agreeable. Would you say, like all kinds of spammers go away. So let's then see about choosing the mission. Indeed, and then we would have the easy mission, which this would allow rangers, and what would this wouldn't give any units. This would give more weaponry and some kind of reveal all enemy statistics in circle area. We do probably prefer like having the ranger available, because they have a ranged weapon, which helps immensely when your only ranged weapons are on the tech priests comparatively. So yes, let's go here. As having more than the cannon fodder with the single weapon, now we can take the more effective kind of the craft. Maybe you try to find how to use them on PC, because there was like some separate choice for them on the Switch, because I have not played the game before much on PC, so there are a few things to learn in that respect. And we are good to deploy. Alright, be vexed. Spreading of the incense was not enough. Apparently not. Do you also like the name of the tome? Observations on the Tech Cosmos. Indeed. Do you success? And what would that achieve? Indeed. This course purely use binary, it's a different matter of course what encoding. Novel concept, that's interesting reaction also. Very novel concept. Let's make different noise. Excellent. Very well. We had the risk to our people. Very well. And then we wonder about like how does this place work. So it's probably, yep, 2 battles. It's kind of like us probably should go into battle first to have minimal awakening levels, so that probably helps. Alright, and then we have new Necron. Indeed, they are executioners, at least optimistic. Indeed, believe now. How supportive of you. The servo skull didn't agree. Survived 3 rounds. And then it's anyway kill all enemies, so it's kind of... Alright, and we have no extra cognizant points, so it's start this way. Let's obtain a cognizant point. And then... will probably be an enemy from there, so... We could also move here, as we have this has both the 3 guns, so it's like... Or we could... let's see... We can shoot from here, so it's probably better to go and shoot at the target we actually currently have, because it helps when you have less sources of damage to deal with. All right. That's quick. Alright. We can walk over and immediately use the axe, but we can shoot with the free gun first, which is of course like alright, so we are already up to, we can most probably walk over and both use the axe and heal the other. Much better. And then we can strike with the axe to get rid of that. There we go. Alright, at least we alright, and more troops come, so alright, that's pretty good damage. And can't really get the axe distance. We can also use the other gun. And considering we take damage, let's actually do so that we pin them down. Walk over and then they are forced to take the opportunity attack if they want to move. Alright, that will not help. Critical immediately, so we actually have to deal with that first, and the specific explanation is that it does melee and now we have one, so we have to practically start dealing with that. We can't shoot the tree cognizant thing anyway. So let's walk over and them with the axe. Effective enough. We got one cognition. We can gain another. Right, unfortunately. No, it's the other one, so that will take turn next. We can't yet heal that. We could walk here for the specific reason to block the other one getting fired from that direction, considering the turn order. Then it's the reanimation protocol. Excellent. Kill all enemies. Not surprised. And now we could have a servitor. Main issue is that we also need to heal that. This is one cognition point. So not yet. Would either yet be able to extract a cognition point, because we are not sure and do not think we can check immediately. let's not deploy currently. Removes one potential source of damage. And we could in two parts like move there, but not protected from all the shooters. If we stand here, at least can't be shot from one direction, so also shoot all the way there. Or not quite, it's like it's only that much out of range, so alright, that removes one source of damage. Right, and what's the turn order? Not very beneficial. Get one cognition from there. Then we can back here or even here, so that the blade one runs probably out of movement. That's probably. Hello there, PRNG. Let's greet you properly. Hello there. Good to have you here also. Oh, also the nice emoji. And thank you for having been here watching. So let's then see about how well this goes or doesn't, which appears to be the case. But we are going to probably at least try and finish this mission. It's not very easy. Right, so let's then in turn continue with the game and see where we end up. So here we can't do much else and then pretty much every unit takes their turn. Yep, that was what I was hoping for, that the flayed one goes here. So then we have a lot of fire. Right, that has to move first. Right. We can heal ourselves or use the axe, considering the turn order. We prefer to use the axe. Because we still have turns before we need to shoot at that. Alright, presence detected only. This helps a bit. Alright, also healed for one. I'll get to use either of those. We could shoot, but then the problem is if we walk so that we get cognition, we can still shoot, and then we can do cognition, move back towards safety. So right, actually it was like one away. Really lucky. Alright. Let's try that anyway. So we get to shoot, and then we still have movement left. Because less sources of damage is a major improvement. Which didn't yet result. At least we can move to relative safety. Oh, no problem. And then it might be very useful to actually consider using a canticle at this point. So fortunately we can restore some HP, which is better for the one. There we go. So much safer situation in that respect. Here we are in less trouble until now. Yep. Fortunately not. That went well. We couldn't have done anything in any case because the turn order didn't favor us. We should shoot at that, but is that possible? At least we can get one cognition. That's the 2 cognition action. We practically have the we can walk there, get another cognition. Shoot that with the gun. That with the axe. then we still have. Does that provide cover? I would hope so. We can't self-heal immediately. We will restore 1 point. We have only 1, but we can't really do much more. We are fortunately also running out of opponents. Yep. Nope. Not today. So that certainly needs another try next time. Don't think we are going to pretty much finish, so that clearly didn't work out. So most probably we will load the game next time and try again. That was really unlucky go at it. Like really. We unlocked about 10 million things, but we are most probably going to try again next time, so that was kind of not the most desirable result ever, and we would like to try at least with a bit better luck, and we have now done 2.5 hours, so I do think that was pretty good length also overall. So hopefully you all enjoyed. We clearly have to take another try with better luck. That was kind of very unlucky in a few aspects. And then let's see who we will raid. So of course do hopefully stay for the raid, and let's see who we will raid. So first of all we of course give some nice waves to all of you and then see who we will raid. And I thought is doing art, alright. Dark AEV is playing State of Decay 2. Aria Vivo is playing Horizon Zero Dawn. Do remember when Luna played that. Orko Stevan is playing Elden Ring, which is kind of surprising. Apparently they are on break after playing 6 hours, so nope. Hean is actually playing Warhammer 40,000 bolt gun, so more Warhammer games, yes please. That's good enough, so let's certainly. It's been a while since we have raided Hean, so that's good, and it's even very matching game. Oh, of course. So let's already type the raid command in, but not quite yet initiated as there has been a redeem. So of course you get what you wish for. And good boss they are. So first of all we get ready here. And then we do as required. Let's also do both if we can. Yes. there we are. So, hopefully you are happy with the redeem. And if you are happy, let's go for the raid and wish you all good rest of the evening / day, and we shall most probably see you again tomorrow. We'll need to pack tomorrow because traveling for midsummer party. The day after, but should be like not very long packing work over. Also do think can also do a stream. So thank you all, and let's go for the raid. And here we go. Be well.